I remember when I started this entire journey, almost a year ago, packing my bags, being super excited to escape America and all of the harsh economic times and, you know, all the bullshit back home, and getting ready to start a new life overseas. You know, not just to like slow travel the world, which I've already done, but to actually settle down in a whole new country. Like where I'm at right now in Phnom Penh, Cambodia. I've been here, well, in about a week, it'll be 11 months. So I can almost claim a year. It's almost been a year, and I can't believe how fast time has gone by. And it just got me thinking, like, what is it really? I mean, I know there's people out there like you that are wondering, like, what is it really like to be an expat in another country? Like, what are the challenges? What are the wins? I mean, we can all sort of think about it in our own heads, but to actually hear it from somebody who's already there, which is me, is a whole nother story. I mean, again, unless you actually come over here yourself and experience it through your eyes, you may have a different story. But I just thought in this video today that I wanted to share my opinions on what my challenges have been living here versus what my wins have been. And I wanted to have a deep, candid, simple discussion with you. You know, I don't even think I'm going to edit this video. Like, I just want to just shoot this, and I just want to get it out to you, my subscriber. And I just want you to know, what is it like to live out here? So let's just dive in. I mean, let's start with the rewards. I mean, come on, the wins are easy, right? We all know what the major win is. That's the economics, right? It's the money. I mean, let's face it, the American dollar stretches further out here. Like $1 equals 4,000 of their money, which is reals. And yeah, it's an easy way to live out here. That's one of the wins, and we all know it's the money, especially when you're coming from a Western world like me, coming from America. It's a no-brainer, right? The other thing is the jobs. Now, I'm talking about getting an English job. I'm not talking about, like, you know, doing some type of work that a regular Cambodian would actually do out here. I'm talking about coming in and taking an English job, which is what they really need out here. So being a Westerner, they make it very simple and easy to get a work permit and to actually start teaching. And another cool thing about being out here, not that I've done it myself, I mean, I got my own online job going on. It's digital real estate. But they make it really super easy to actually start your own business out here. Like, if you want a brick and mortar job, you can do it. I mean, you need some capital, and you don't even have to marry a Cambodian to do it or become a citizen, but you can pump money into the economy and you can start a business. So that's another thing that's really cool about being out here. And of course, the next big thing for me, which is a win, is obviously the visa, okay? I mean, I'm writing on what they call an e-retirement visa, so an electronic retirement visa. And they make it really super easy to get, and they make it super easy to renew and to stay. So, like, just for instance, I don't have to do any border runs. If you don't know what that means that, like, if you live like where I live in Cambodia, I would have to hop across the line to a neighboring country, like Vietnam is close, or Thailand, or even Laos, right? I'd have to hop over the line well, not literally hop, but you know, you get the picture. I'd have to take a trip, go cross borders, get my passport stamped out, buy another visa, get my passport stamped in, then I'm allowed back into the country, rinse and repeat, right? And 9 times out of 10, you would be best to go through some sort of visa agent where they pile everybody in a van, and for like $150 you take a trip over the line, you make a day or 2 out of it, and then you come back. I mean, that's great if you have extra money to blow and you got time to spend, but I mean, it's like it's a constant worry. Like every 6 months or every year I gotta constantly hop and do this stuff. Well, see, Cambodia doesn't do that. That's the joy of it. You just go to a visa agent in the country, and like here in Phnom Penh, I've got a girl that I go to. You can renew your visa for like 6 months or up to a year. I do every 6 months because I never know if I'm gonna stay. You know, I don't want to get locked into a whole year and just waste a visa and then hop out. You know what I mean? So I do my visa through her, and all she needs from me is my passport and the money, and within a week and a half, she sends it to the government, they do their thing, and within a week and a half, I get my passport and everything back. I hope this is okay. Never know with these microphones. So that's that's one of the big wins. And then the other thing is, oh, well, I'll tell you, like, I pay $180 every 6 months to get my visa renewed. In case you've never watched any of my other videos, shame on you, but if you're new here, it's $180 to renew a visa every 6 months out here. And if you want to do the solid year, they give you a discount, so it'd be $300 for 12 months. So you get $60 off if you go that route, which isn't bad. Plus the cost of the visa agent. So depending on the agent, could be anywhere from $10 to $20 more on top of that. Another great thing is the food. I mean, that's a huge win. And the coffee and the juices, everything's fresh. There's a lot of mom and pop shops out here and restaurants, and I mean, you've got not just the Khmer food that is really excellent, but you've got food from all around the world, all around Asia that's represented in this city. I mean, okay, when I say the world, not only just like American food. I mean, yeah, they got the Starbucks, they got Burger King, they got KFC, and they've got Pizza Hut out here. But I don't personally eat there because I've had enough of that. I grew up in the United States, okay? I've eaten my share of that crap food, and I don't want anything to do with it, and I will not support any American brand out here. Not that I hate America, because I love America. I still have skin in the game. I've got kids that are grown that are still living there. But when you've had enough and you want something different, that's me, you know? That's another reason I moved out here. I want something different. So I want to try foods I've never had back in the United States, or I may never get any other part of the world. For instance, like, I mean, think about this. Would I ever get hold of any Pakistani food? Would I ever go to Pakistan? Probably not. I've never had it back in the United States. I mean, you can get it here, but they also have food from the country of Georgia, Eastern Europe, that's represented. They have Greek foods out here, really good Greek food. I'm just giving you some examples, but yeah, like I said, the wins out here are super easy, but let's get to the difficult shit, right? Let's talk about the challenges. Oh, I'm gonna have to take a sip of water on this one. Let's take a little bit of break, okay? Because homegirl about to get deep on this. So better kick back with your popcorn, okay? The difficulties. Well, let's face it. What's the biggest barrier that you're gonna face when you're living out here? What's the language, right? Unless you know Khmer, and I don't, I know like 5 words in Khmer. That's it. I know how to say hello, thank you, sorry, That's 3 words. Maybe yes and no. I haven't hardly used the words, but I really say hello and thank you all the time, especially to my tuk-tuk drivers, and that's it. That's my extent of the knowledge out here, but yet I still thrive using my English language with most of the locals. But let's face it, if you don't really know the language, you really are talking to them on a superficial level, okay? Like, you're gonna just be at the hello, how are you? I'm doing fine. Where's the bathroom? How much is this? Thank you, goodbye, have a nice day. That's the level you're gonna be at, okay? Sometimes you can go a teeny bit, deeper. Sometimes. It depends on who you're talking to. So if you get hold of a Khmer person, a Cambodian out here that is younger than, say, 30-ish, 40-ish, a lot of times, because they've been in school, they've been learning English, they can communicate on a little bit more of a deeper level with you. But I wouldn't say that I could carry a deep conversation with them. Like, I can't just sit down like I am with you right now and just talk to them where they're going to understand me and all of my, quirky analogies and maybe cutting a joke or two, right? Like, they're not going to get it, and they never will, and I don't expect them to get it. And especially the older Cambodians out here, like, they don't speak any English, and the best they can do is just smile, and they're friendly, and they try to do their best to help you and to understand you, but that's it. That's the level. And then, of course, another big problem out here, or challenge, is melting into the culture, right? So here's how the language ties in with the culture. If you can't read, write, or speak and express yourself in the Cambodian language, how do you get deeper under the surface of the water to the Cambodian culture, where you can actually have a conversation with a person from Cambodia on a deeper level and really get to know this person from their heart and their soul? Like, really understand where they're coming from. Where have they been? How difficult was their life? If you don't have that, and even if you did, okay, let's face it, let's put it this way. Let's say I've lived here, I don't know, 20 years, right? And I've learned the language, and I'm able to have a conversation with a Khmer person. Will I ever actually be Cambodian? No. Okay? I mean, let's face it. You may be able to communicate on a deeper level, but you're never going to have their experiences. Okay? For instance, okay, if I said this to a Cambodian, like, hey man, the 80s and the 90s were fantastic, man. Like, hair metal days rocked. Grunge was awesome. And they would just look at me and probably be like, hair metal? Grunge? What is that? Grunge, like dirty floors? They would probably not understand where I'm coming from because they weren't here in the United States in the 80s and 90s. They probably weren't even exposed to that kind of music. You see what I'm saying? That was the American way. That was the American culture. That's what I grew up with. That's what I experienced during those years. Okay, flip the role reversal. Let's say let's say I'm talking to a Cambodian and they're talking to me about what it was like 10, 20 years ago in this city and how they grew up, or Ancestor Day, or Chinese New Year, what a good time it was. And I would be like, okay, like, sounds like sounds like it would have been fun during Chinese New Year, or, but, they would try to explain to me how it felt and what it means to them. But that's all it is. I can just look at them and say, yeah, it sounds good, right? Which is going to be the same transaction when they're looking at me and trying to understand rock and roll and trying to understand the whole culture that is around the American rock scene. It's just like, that's what I'm saying. And I hate to even get it down to skin color. Okay? You can learn the language, but you will never be a Khmer. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, my skin, they're brown. The people are brown out here. My skin is white. I'm never going to turn brown. If I live here 20 years, I learn the language, I somewhat understand where they're coming from, but I will never be in their skin. You get what I'm saying? And role reversal, if they ever went to the United States and they started to sort of acclimate into the culture of America and they start to learn the English, but their skin color is never going to turn white or black, okay? I mean, I don't want to leave out colors, but I'm just saying that is how deep it goes. We are never going to be Cambodian living in Cambodia. I don't care if you've been here 20 years. I don't care if you have citizenship out here. Your culture, your values are from your country. They are not from their country. They don't get it. They will never understand. And you can do as much reading about their history. Maybe you'll be able to get on a deeper level of conversation with a Khmer, and maybe you'll be able to start to understand where they're coming from. But until you live it, if you walk in their shoes, you know the old saying, you walk a mile in somebody's shoes, maybe you'll be able to get where they're coming from and you'll understand them. It's the same thing. You're never going to walk a mile in a Cambodian shoes because you'll never understand where they're coming from. And that is a challenge, man. So it just is what it is, And then that ties into making friends. That's a challenge out here. So picture this, okay? Picture this. Let's pretend you are a bubble. You remember the days when you had like the little blow bubbles? I think they still have that for kids, You blow up this big giant bubble and it floats away in the sky. That's you. You are inside a big giant bubble, all right? And you are floating above the Cambodian population. You are floating above Phnom Penh, the city. You're maneuvering through the city in your bubble, okay? Now, I'm not saying it's a protection thing. I'm just saying it's a barrier, right? So you're in this bubble, you're maneuvering around, you don't really understand the Khmer language. If you hear your English from another Westerner, you'll be like, I get what they're saying. But like me, most of the time I go out, I don't hear too much English in cafes or restaurants or wherever I'm like in a store. I hear them speaking their language, or maybe they're speaking Chinese, because there's a lot of different Asian representations out here. So I don't know what they're saying. So I'm in my little bubble, right? And I'm just floating around and I'm just observing. Or you can look at it like this way, this analogy, like picture a fish bowl. They are the fish in the bowl. I'm the observer on the outside looking in. They look at me with curiosity from the fish bowl, and I'm looking at them with curiosity on the outside looking in. But we never connect. We never connect. And that's what it feels like to live out here. Now, you might think, well, gee, isn't it sort of like, can you make friends with expats out here? Of course you can. Of course you can. You can make friends with expats out here. if that's what you're seeking, if that is your why. Because I mean, really, it all boils down to this. When you pack your bags and leave the United States, why are you doing it? What is your why? Is it economics, like it was for me? Is it because you want to make more friends and connect with a community and a culture on a deeper level? If that's your why, you've got a long journey ahead of you. You got a hard road when it comes out here because, like I mentioned, it's the language barrier, it's understanding where they're coming from. That is how you're going to get to their level to actually make a friend. Now, I'm not saying that people aren't friendly out here, okay, guys? They are super friendly out here, and they will go out of their way to help you. There is no doubt in my mind that the Cambodian people are awesome out here. It's just, my why for being out here is strictly based on economics, okay? This is what they say. Everybody is running, either you're running away from something or you're running to something. That you got to figure out, what is it? Are you running away from the United States for XYZ, or are you running to Cambodia for XYZ? My why, I was running away from the United States because I couldn't afford to live there anymore. Now, I had to leave my children. I mean, they're grown, like I'm a widow. My husband passed away 14 years ago. My kids are in their 20s right now. I have no grandchildren. I said, this is now. This is my why. I mean, if I'm going to better myself in order to be of help to them in the future, I need to do what I need to do. I need to leave for economic reasons, so that not only I could just thrive out here, I need to be able to save money. I need to live not only within my means, but below my means, so that I could save and invest my cash. Whereas I never had that opportunity, hardly, to do in the United States. And now, like, I left 3 years ago, but now I hear it's even worse. I hear it from my own children. It's bad out there. If eggs are reaching $10 a dozen out in the United States, like, it's getting bad. Like, are the chickens on strike? Like, what the hell? Yeah, but economics is my why. I'm not really here to make friends. Okay, I know that sounds really, really harsh. Now, if our paths cross, like if let's say you come out to Phnom Penh, I love meeting my subscribers. Don't get me wrong. We can go out and have a cup of coffee. We can go out and have a lunch. We'll shoot the shit for a couple hours or whatever. You tell me your story. I tell you my story. We can actually communicate because we share a common language. We can crack jokes. We can have a good time. I don't mind that. But my sole purpose of being here is economics. It has nothing to do with, making friends. And when I think about it, don't we always carry over habits from your one country to the next? I mean, if you haven't left your country yet, you don't know where I'm getting at, but let's face it, even if you move from one state to the other, your habits, the skeletons in your closet, your ghosts, everything's going to come with you, okay? It's all in you. You can't leave your bad habits in the United States and expect to come to Cambodia and have great habits all of a sudden. What am I talking about? Let's say you're an alcoholic. Okay, let's just go there. Let's say you drink a ton of beer all the time, or liquor in the United States, and that's what you do. And you love to go to bars and you're just partying down all the time. Do you think you're going to break that habit the minute you move to Phnom Penh? Probably not, unless you actually consciously work on breaking the habit. But couldn't you do the same thing in the United States? 9 times out of 10 you can. But that's what I'm saying. And if you bring your frugality from the United States like I did, and you apply it to Cambodia, see, it's all about lifestyle, guys. It's all about lifestyle. So whatever lifestyle that you choose to live in your home country is the lifestyle that you're more than likely going to carry with you to the new country. And unfortunately, when I started traveling, I brought the alcoholism with me. I'm not saying I was a hardcore alcoholic. I have since been sober for a year now, but I did enjoy drinking on the weekends. And yeah, I'd call myself an alcoholic. But I'm sober now, and I've quit for various reasons. And, you know, that's not my lifestyle. So I'm able to save money on booze. But yeah, you got to understand your why. And, you know, there's no shame in that game. If you want to party and drink beer and that's part of your lifestyle, I'm not passing no judgment. Who am I to judge you? You know, I'm just some random chick on YouTube. All right? Who am I to judge you? Just like, who are you to judge me? Like, we're just the same. We're the same. We're of the same spiritual body having a human experience. Do you get what I'm saying? I don't really want to throw religion into anything, but we are all cut from the same cloth. And in the end, we all go back. We're all scrap pieces of cloth and end up getting thrown back into the hamper. Do you get what I'm saying? We all go back eventually. So we're only here for a short time on this planet. Yeah, I'm just rambling on. I don't know. I needed to get that out. I figured maybe this could be helpful for you or someone out there. You know, if you've already got your bags packed and you're ready to roll and you're coming to Phnom Penh, Cambodia, then by all means, know what your why is. And you know, and remember what the challenges are out here. You are going to face these challenges, but you're also going to have a lot of good wins out here too. All right. Thank you for watching. Hey, don't forget to, if you want to, like and subscribe to the channel, and maybe watch the next video, or maybe not. It's up to you. I'll see you in the next one. Love you. Peace out.